Welcome back to my baby doll baby cakes with their fluffy slippers on. We've got crypto's juiciest news. Let's start with a big fat juicy dump. Look at that sea of red. Red everywhere. You better get used to it. You see, friends, these bubbles, man, these bubbles don't do anything. They're attractive for retailers. I don't know why you guys like looking at the bubbles. There's literally no information, but I really do know. And the answer is people want to buy the biggest bubble. They want to see the biggest green candle and they want to just get right behind it. It's like, they're just saying to everybody, I just can't wait to give my hard-earned money away to people who got in cheap. I just want to give it away right now. And now this is the Bitcoin price, right? We're still hovering around here. Now I want to speak quickly, friends. Everybody's waiting for the buy the rumor, sell the news, the Bitcoin ETF. Yes, we know it's a Trojan horse. We know all these. But you can see everyone's either expecting, right? You've seen, I've made videos on it. Everyone's expecting either shoot to the moon or just immediately crash down. It might be, I made videos on this saying it's possible what market does. It goes, you know what? If you guys want a big up and down, the most painful scenario is sideways. Why? It rinses you with time. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually just screw around. And then, by the way, April's on the Bitcoin halvening. We just dump on the freaking halvening, right? Now, why would this screw everybody around? It's because when there's no pump up, and we go kind of sideways, the bears think, it's buy the rumors, sell the news. And then the bulls as well saying, we never sold heaps, and it's been like 2 months. Now, in this time, maybe altcoins are starting to move. And then what we might find is around the Bitcoin halvening, we just dump anyway, and then we've got to pray for a rescue. Now, it might be a stock market jitter. You don't know what it's going to be. Never try to predict the news. But just sharing you that you can still navigate time ahead of you without knowing what's going on. You don't need to know exactly what's going on. The long-term trend is all you're writing. You don't care what these candles are doing on this weekly. What you're caring about is like these green monthly candles, okay? That's what we care about. We can even go back and look at the monthly chart. That's all we're saying. We're saying, look, we're hoping in the next 16 bars of months, 16 months, there are more green candles than red, and the green candles are bigger than the red ones. That's it. That's all you need to do. And that's how you invest. You do one click in, one click out. And funny, right? Look at this. Crapo is bullish for a $48,000 Bitcoin and then expects Richard Hart's 10K crash. You wouldn't believe it unless I showed you the chart. This is literally what he expects right now. This is the 48K pop. Everybody, it's over. Everyone's, it's over. And now it's like really, really over. Now, I know it's some sort of meme, but hey, like, think about it, friends. You're all giving him money. His network effect, he's now got to 85,000 people in his Telegram. He started with like 65,000 last time I remember. So it's literally been boosting up. Just like 3 weeks ago, it was at 80,000. So clearly, people are coming in to watch it. So you're going to forget his trash in like a year because he's going to make more money from it, right? So I don't really blame him doing what he's doing. But it just is interesting what bears, people who miss the move, what they believe. See, this is what happens at the top of crypto cycles, just so you know. It's so you know. So you don't get trapped. We might find somewhere in 2025 that people who you know are the biggest bears, the biggest skeptics, macro people, stock market people, friends and family. They're bears, right? What they'll do is when they finally get in, and by the way, Crapo put on a little long, right? Long in Avalanche. I think got liquidated or it got stopped out. The bears to finally capitulate, they never tell you, now we are finally the future of finance. They're not going to capitulate like that. So don't expect that. Instead, what they'll say is they'll go, all right, you're going up, but then you're going to crash. But it's for some reason, it's that psychological switch to get them to admit, okay, you're going up, then we're going to crash. That's the top. Do you want to know when this happened last? Uncle Peter Schiff. And yes, Uncle Peter Schiff is a friend of the channel. Shout out to Uncle Petey. He made a tweet here. Literally, Bitcoin, 50K. His tweet, right? I made videos about it. He said in this tweet, he goes, now that Bitcoin is 50K, I will personally admit it is more likely to go to 100 first before it goes to 0. So basically, we made Petey capitulate. That was the top. It was literally the top. Could you believe it? So he still was like, yeah, you're going to 0, but first you might go to 100K. There's a higher probability you will. Crazy, right? In other news as well, friends, FriendTech lets go of employee Pancakesbrah. Now, I made the story here. So Pancakesbrah have a picture of him. He's a very real good type of dude. He's a crowd favorite on Twitteroonies. And I didn't know this, but apparently he was working for FriendTech. I had no idea. He just appeared out of nowhere. He started to grow his account, he added everybody on Twitter, started following everybody, and he just started replying to everyone. And he became a crowd favorite. Now, what ended up happening is with FriendTech, I still use FriendTech as my baby.cultist friend. So this type of stuff I don't really care about because people are trying to FUD it or whatever. Who cares, man? Doesn't really matter. But what ended up happening is, just so you know, this is why crypto was invented, right? It makes you more bullish in crypto. So there's an equity stake in FriendTech. They've made $27 million so far, and he onboarded 100,000 people. And there was some dispute about, how much money should get paid. Now, he didn't reveal much. He just made a comment saying, look, I'm just going to walk away. We have some disputes, whatever. But they're basically letting him go right before the equity stake for a company and stuff gets formed, because everybody's seeing dollar signs, right? So people saying, oh, well, instead of giving him a 10% cut of 2.7 million, other people are now taking it, right? So I made the whole story just to go through this. And, they made so it says 10 million revenue here. The real number is 27 million. And he implied it had something to do with the onboarding process. Friends, that's why it's really tough, man. It's really tough. I get the same prices as you. But if I want to become an insider, like the Arbitrum insiders, which I've made a video, friends, the Arbitrum insiders, ARB, the Ethereum influencers are on side 950x today. And the minimum clip is $10,000 from 2021. So each 10K put in is worth 9.5 million today because they've only released 12% of the coins. And yes, that's just to tell you, right? And there's all these other VCs insiders. Did you get the Arbitrum ICO? No. Did I? Nope. Crazy, right? That's just how the game works. And for you to get these, there's an agreement. It's basically saying, hey, you're going to tell people this is cheap at every price. Remember the example I used to you. It's literally you are a surgeon. The patient is either dead or alive. Their heartbeat is either 0 or it's normal, okay? Yes. See how there's a distinct difference? Yes. When it comes to this game of crypto, there's a difference, right? Are people telling you to buy low or sell or buy high? That's the important part. It's literally the difference between being alive and being dead. That's how critical this is. So obviously I'm just speculating, and I made posts here just to go through, Pancake's response and stuff, but it could be something to do with that, where they're you know what, tell people this thing is going to be cheap. You never really know, right? How to onboard people, strategy. I'm just speculating, but I'm just fleshing out thoughts here just so you get an idea of what's the difference between winning and losing. Do you want to know the difference? That's how small the difference is, really, at the end of the day. It's literally the difference. It's buy low, sell high. But who are we listening to? Who are we absorbing the information from? Even though you got to do your own research and do yourself. We know, friends, we all learn from everyone else. Okay, that's why when I show you charts, for example, the Icosa chart, okay, which is leverage on Hex, I buy in a very, very freaking cheap zone. That's me. I literally buy in depression. That's what I do, right? And look what I did. Look what I did. Yes, there has been a push up after I started making tweets and alerting everybody, you know what, it's time for me to get in, right? Because I could just keep all these to myself, friends. I have other coins that I can't tell you about, because they're so minute and trash in here and there, right? All ones I've just made videos about that I just, I don't even look at my portfolio and stuff to see what's going around, okay? So look at this. It's still in the box, right? It's still in the box, and this is a 115% rally. So that's what I do. In my cheap zone, I want something so cheap that even if it literally goes up a 2x, I can still buy it because the return is enormous. That's what I want. That's the place I want to be. That's a big margin for error. Because people, everyone's going to be sloppy. It's going up and down. This is what happens. Okay, look how far away the resistance zone is. Now, you got to be careful, right? Because scammers and grifters on Twitter and YouTube, they'll just tell you it's cheap at any price. But I have a zone where I'm hey, I'm still in. And friends, man, you're buying in depression. Honestly, you're going to scab yourself out on a 2x after this 2-year bear market of crypto. So that's ultimately the difference. So you can share with your friends and family. When you watch somebody and they say, I really like this project. If they cover a project and they don't talk about its price, there's a problem. Why? Because they want you to think it's cheap at any price. That's why. They got insider ICO allocations. For example, Molestia, TIA. They're not telling you, hey, golly gee, you know, the ICO was 9 cents and then it went to $14. So the insiders, the VCs, which I literally made videos about, they're inside 140x. 140x, but the tokens are not unlocked yet. And they're trying to get everybody to lock their tokens up to get these BS airdrops and stuff. So you got to be smart with this. That's right, okay? Because I don't know the future. I'm just telling you, if you roll the dice, on average, what happens? For example, you know, playing roulette, yes. You play the casino, friends. You know, on average, you play long enough, you're going to get wrecked. Well, this is unfortunately playing where the odds aren't in your favor. So that's why it's super important. Always buy stuff only in a cheap zone. Because you never know, man. Bitcoin has 3 red monthly candles. That's it. You're going to be buying minus 70%, but you better be assuming minus 70% is even more cheap. So that's why I have confidence. If I'm buying in a cheap zone and something drops minus 70%, I don't feel good. But I know it went from cheap to super deep cheap. If you're buying on the momentum, you're not buying in cheap. You're buying with the retailers. Everybody's got paper hands. Also got to remind you, right? So Celsius as well on news, they have enormous Ethereum being staked and they're dumping yield on the market and they're going to unstake it soon. So they've been contributing to the Ethereum sell pressure. But if you've been watching and remaining a friend of the channel, I've shown you that Ethereum, every 4th quarter, right before the Bitcoin halvening, it is weak, right? It is weak, and that's what's been happening. So isn't it crazy how Celsius, nothing to do with Ethereum itself, ends up buying all the Ethereum? It's like, these cycles are so weird. It's like Celsius has nothing to do with a 4-year cycle, but they end up going to be revealed to be a Ponzi. They have all this Ethereum, they stake it, and then they're dumping it. They're contributing to all that big sell pressure. ETH BTC still staying weak. So it's just wild how, you know, how's this line up? The charts and the cycles and things repeat. I guess they're just going to keep repeating until too many people believe. Now as well, friends, I'm just going to pump some nice, gentle angel music for you to remind you of this. We are in a Bitcoin halvening year where altcoins go wild, but you have to take blind faith at the start of the year and hodl. I made many videos and posts in 2022 and 2023 saying, if you go back, starting 2024, the plan is, so from December 2023 to January 2024, so you start looking, you get your scope of all these cheap coins, and you never know that your coin's going to go up. You don't even know how high it's going to go. But there's a big probability that it does go up. But there's no signal. That's what you had to do to win in the previous 3 cycles. 2 cycles, because the first one didn't really have any altcoins, right? And we don't really have much information on that. But I'm assuming it was roughly similar, right? Type of mentality here. Or maybe it was just buying Bitcoin. Consider Bitcoin the altcoin, right? Because that was actually the thing to do, right? Buy Bitcoin right before it's Bitcoin halvening in the Bitcoin halvening year. So you could say, actually, you think Bitcoin halvening in one of its years, it did like a 13x return. So that's huge in its first one. 13x for Bitcoin. Crazy, right? And then after that, it only does like a 2x. So now you're getting the idea of I've been planning this the whole time, and I've been talking about it a lot. But I know, friends, I make a lot of videos, keeping on track of everything, how my mind works and everything. And it's very, very hard. You live your own life. You got chocolate to eat. You got orange juice to drink. So this is where we're coming from. I've been planning this the whole time. The strategy hasn't changed. I've been willing to change it if it needs to be changed. It's just that the 4-year cycle is playing on track, right? Because we didn't know it would. The 4-year cycle is playing on track. We can see from the market what's happened with Solana and with Ethereum. So the memes start going as soon as the spear starts going up, straight away. The markets, it means it's harder now, but as well harder. But we have a competitive edge because we know this now. I learned this from this. That's why I'm giving this high value content events. I could make like $2,000 VIP mastermind BS courses. I could be doing that right now instead of giving this to you for free, just to tell you. Name me one single freaking content creator that you're watching out there who's teaching you this that I can watch on YouTube. I'm not learning any of it from them. So I'm here doing this for you, doing the hard work. So you have to deploy today. It is still early January. You got to deploy today. You're thinking, oh, is this thing ever going to go up? Whatever. That's good. That's good. That means you're buying off people who are pessimists. If you're buying and holding when people are saying this is definitely going up and everything's going around, when the crowd's majority saying that, unfortunately, you're in with weak hands. But you know, even if you have diamond hands, it's not going to help all the while if your coin is a scam. So CertiK, right? CertiK, if you see this name CertiK, it's a PsyOps paid scam crypto audit company. They got their Twitter account hacked. Do not ever trust the token audited by CertiK. It means nothing. So it's a funny meme that, that everybody jokes about it, right? So everyone says basically like, oh, it's probably audited by CertiK. So this is in the crypto community culture. When you hear that, you don't understand what that means. It's because every single protocol that gets hacked, you go down to the bottom and it says audited by CertiK. So all the scammers and the grifters, they basically just pay them off. And I'm not joking, friends. We've heard. Okay, this is just not me saying. I've seen responses. People say it's literally just a couple of Indian guys. They just accept like a $500 payment or whatever it is, and they'll just say it's reviewed or whatever. They've been around, their names around, and they started doing it early that they now have like a little network effect. Okay, now obviously I think the price is now higher, but just to give you an idea, it's very easy to pay them off. So don't think just because it's audited by CertiK that it really means anything. Also, for the future of crypto, right? Arbitrum Orbit chains can now use any ERC20 for transaction fees. So this is where it's going to be tough. Because the Ethereum third cycle curse, we are in the third cycle for Ethereum, and people, I'm always speculating. I know you're going to be a diminished return. I know you're going to let everybody down, but how are you? So I think about how and why are you. But look, I know it's going to happen no matter what, almost no matter what. Every single thing, third cycle diminishes. You can't put something that big and keep going at the same rates. So everybody expects another 3.5x from its all-time high, which is like a 14K ETH or 15K. That's what everyone expects, but I guess we'll see, friends. I hope that happens and everybody makes like a 50 to 100x in every altcoin. But when it comes to Ethereum, if you can use any coin to pay for gas, why would you hold ETH? You're just going to hold all your new high value stuff. Now, it was always written in the stars that the ETH is going to diminish, but one of my prophecies, dark prophecies for Ethereum, the third cycle curse, is that in the midst of that next bear market, when it has diminished returns, we're going to see all the people who used to love Ethereum, now they just turn their back on it. You're right. Not all the influencers, maxis, not those ones, but a lot of people who like it. They're like, you know what? I liked it, but then you guys took too long to scale, man. And then you just couldn't do like X, Y, and Z. And now I don't really need ETH because I can pay with any gas fee. Like I can just hold Tether. I can hold like 10,000 in my wallet and I can pay for gas fees with USDT and stuff over time, right? So that's just how these things can develop. Also, really important and really cool, Celr. So Celr have a coin, right? SCLELR. It was one of my prophecies from 2021. And I have the chart here, friends, but I've actually just, this is my results. This is your friends home, my results from 2021. I'm trying to, here it is, Celr. I made a 32x on it right here, row 25. So 32x. So I own it. Just the bridge just went up. Trust me, man. No one knew. Why are you going up? I don't know. You can't find info, man. These things just it's all BS. All right. So look, Celr, right? They're making a bridge for Bitcoin BRC20 support. So from the Bitcoin chain to Ethereum. Other chains are doing it too. Other people are doing it too. But it's just showing you how I see the future. And it ain't good for Bitcoin. It is not good at all. Okay. Once it's literally, I'm not joking, you go to a super conservative type of neighborhood, religious neighborhood, and then you open up a strip club. And you serve alcohol, and you have illicit substances. You know someone's coming to party with you on like a Wednesday night, right? When everyone's at home playing checkers with the family. You know what I mean? That's eventually going to happen. That's exactly what they're doing here. They're allowing the bridge to EVM. So when Bitcoin, once you start opening your mind, that's why, friends, once you start opening your mind to yield and high growth, and they're looking at other coin charts, ordinals has like plagued Bitcoin forever. Now, it's obviously great for us because Bitcoin has all the market money. If they come in, they start using the Bitcoin with their collateral to start playing around in DeFi, Ponzi's, and buying stuff. Oh my gosh, that's insane. That's all the money coming in. It's within the ecosystem. Because it's so much easier for us to get money from Bitcoin than it is to get money from the outside world. Because the Bitcoin one is already sitting there. The problem is no one uses it. It's stored. It's very sticky. It's like gold, right? But if you're making bridges now and it's easy to market to them and they start getting tempted, right, we have big opportunity coming. But I don't know if it's going to happen this cycle. I mean, look, it feels like it will. It feels like it will. And if it does, you're going to have a lot of emotional money. Because these people who are holding this Bitcoin stuff, they have no idea what they're doing. They don't know about the DeFi Ponzi. They say they know they're all scams, but here's the problem. Once they hear about different chains, different communities, different things going up, coupled with them seeing Bitcoin's gains slowing down, which it is, then they're really going to get FOMO. Then they're going to start buying other stuff, yield farming, playing around, meme coins, and everything else, okay? And also my final point here, we already went through it. So your friend Tommy, so yours truly here. I went and did research. I want to make a video on this where insiders at Arbitrum are up 950x for each $10,000 allocation. They're up $9.5 million of profit. Okay, now only 12% of the coins are released. So I'm just telling you, look, yes, ARB, the coin, layer 2 chain for Ethereum has like 44% or 48% market share, like a lot of market share for layer 2s. They're going to drift the coin up. That's what happens, man. Okay, this is how you get out. You pump it up to get out. Then no one sells the bottom because they all agree. They all know, hey, all our coins are locked. Okay, sweet. You know what to do. Okay, now you don't know the exact methods and the funnels, but this happens everywhere, man. This happens in Wall Street. This is just how the game works. They mark it up. You're going to see the same people, friends. I've actually got one of Pantera Capital. They're one of the insiders who got the unlocks here. That's to pay a bit higher price. They're up 150x on a minimum $1 million investment. These guys, I made a video about them. They literally dumped 90% of their Luna bag at the top and simultaneously went on crypto channels and influencer crypto channels on YouTube saying Luna's the buy of a lifetime, saying it's gone much higher, it's great, it's a success. It was their unicorn winner. So they literally dumped it. And you know how it was revealed? It was because Luna went to zero and they had to send investors like, don't worry, don't ask to pull your money from us because we actually made a lot of money. We dumped Luna. And I went through the filings and I saw them like, oh, you guys dumped 90% during this time period. And then I went and I found a video of one of the dudes from there talking about it. So if you watch them, like, they're all smart, nice guys, etc. But hey, I don't really care, man. See how it's a dog-eat-dog world, isn't it? There's sharks everywhere. These are the people who got given an Arbitrum ICO, by the way. They are on side 150x from their allocation. So I'm not saying like Arbitrum's Luna or anything. Of course not. It's a fake DeFi governance token. But just giving you an idea, right? Just to remember, you and I don't get into these insider allocations. We don't, all right? We are their exit liquidity. That's when they get retail to come in. Oh, we are the future of finance. That's how the game works. Aren't you glad you got a friend like me? Make sure you like, subscribe, better button. I'll catch you soon.